Heidi ho, good neighbors. This is Phil Russer with Creatorcon Q&A. It's episode 59. Happy Friday. Hope you had a great week. I'm glad it's over. Hope you have a long, fun weekend ahead of you. And I also hope that you put down Falcon and the Winter Soldier for later and you hang out with me right now because I have a really cool guest tonight. Really cool guy, very accomplished in the industry, and has a really cool Kickstarter going on right now. So the theme is cool. Anyway, before we get started, as usual, I just do a few quick things. May 18th, Kickstarter launch for Penguino's Revenge by Robert Powers. It's an anthropomorphic tale of a samurai penguin. It's a lot of fun, laugh out loud with a lot of graphic action. I mean, it's kind of like Invincible graphic action. So it's not for kids, but it's a good tale. It's a lot of fun. Please go check that out. If you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that, you'll like this book. Enrico, how are you? Yes, I'm in New York. I'm actually in Long Island, but we're in New York. Raphael, thanks for coming out. Also want to let you know that www.lesdudis.com, LESDUDIS.com. It's Andy Lee. He's the wonderful human being that does all my graphics and promotional materials for the show and my website for my businesses. So thank you so much to Andy Lee. www.lesdudis.com. I do want to remind everybody we're simulcasting on YouTube right now. And I also want to tell everybody to please share this out live to as many people as possible. My guest tonight is a really cool dude. He kind of wants and needs a little bit of help with his Kickstarter that has 7 days left. So the more people we have here supporting, even if you all contribute a $5, PDF tier or a $10 hard copy book or whatever it is, we can get them over the hump. Anyway, hey John Ottinger, thanks for coming in. Yes, I know, Raj, Enrico. Anyway, so share it out, please. Everybody, let everybody know we're here. Share. Get it out there. Anyway, tonight's guest has worked for pretty much every major publisher in the comics industry. He's most well known for the new Superman, which is the Asian Superman for DC, and Major X alongside Rob Liefeld's creation with Marvel. He's a really great, talented artist. He also has a live Kickstarter right now, Take the Monkey and Run. It's a really cool new premise. It seems like fresh and exciting and something you really want to check out, and we're going to get into tonight. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Brent Peeples. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm good.
You and I actually have a lot in common. We're both musicians. I put my motorcycle down for a few years because of my daughters, but I ride also. And we love comics, so we got a lot in common. The only thing is I can't draw for shit. So how you been, all right?
Yeah, I've been good. Been busy.
Yeah,
adjusting to this new world.
Yeah, that's for sure. It ain't gonna last. Trust me. The new world will be the indie community, but it won't be this pandemic. We're gonna get through this.
It's getting better here in Texas. Things are opening back up. So.
Well, you're also in the state. Florida and Texas are the ones leading the way and trying to get things open. So.
Yeah.
So before we want to get into your Kickstarter, which looks really cool, I've pledged on it already, and I get commissions from you all the time. I mean, you do great work. I love your art, and you're also just a cool dude. Again, I just want to reiterate, you had done something really nice for me as a guest at my last convention. So thank you. So you worked for every major industry, every major publisher in the industry so far. How'd you crack into comics, and what was your first project?
Cracking into comics was just a whole lot of work. I mean, it was beating the pavement for me. I did samples and went to shows and went to book signings and showed my work to anybody that would look at it until I got my first gig, which was Grim Fairy Tales for Zenoscope. So that was back in 2009. That was my very, very first one. So I worked for them. I did Grim Fairy Tales, 2 or 3 issues of that, and did a little run on Sinbad. And then after that, went to Image for an Image book, and then just went from there.
So, you could tell by your personality that you didn't step in it. You grinded it out. You're grounded in reality.
Yeah, it was a grind. I mean, it still is a grind. I mean, that's what, people always said, it's harder to stay in comics than it is to break in. Once you get in, you still got to stay there. So I kind of look at that as that I'm breaking in every time I do a new project, because each new project for me is my portfolio.
Right.
So if if I, if an editor at such and such company is going through the shelves that week, maybe looking for somebody new or whatever,
Or somebody they want to bring in.
or somebody they want to bring in, or they hey, who's this Brent Peeples cat, or I want to go check out his work, and they pick up a book that I just did and it looks like shit. Well, they're probably not going to want to hire me. So,
You're only as good as the last thing you did, right? No matter what.
That being said, I think 3 days after I finish a project, I think it all looks like shit. But I think that's
I think it's all artists, though.
I think that's all creatives.
Yeah, so, but you know what? That's good, because the second you think you're solid, you're never going to grow.
Yeah. And I always try to keep learning. I'm always trying to figure it out, trying to get better.
Now, it's one thing to do your sequentials and your sample and everything, but it's another thing when you're dealing with different writers and different personalities. Some writers are a little tighter in, how they want you to do their scripts, and some are a little looser. I mean, do you prefer a looser script for you to have freedom, or do you like solid direction? Or
for me, I like, I like a full script. I like something that's completely scripted out. I've never run into a situation. I've never run into a situation as an artist on a book where if I wanted to change something a little bit, where they told me no, and that's in a full script type situation. The only time I've ever drawn from a plot was when doing samples. So that Marvel style where it was just plotted out, and then me and Rob were briefly working on a creator-owned thing years and years before Major X that he had done. That was like a screenplay that we were going to adapt, but we ended up not finishing that up. But that was a little different because it wasn't a comic book script; it was screenplay. So, I prefer a full script. So now for my Kickstarter book, my creator-owned book, because I'm writing it and drawing it, I've got it completely scripted out. But as I'm going through and drawing the book,
you'll make whatever changes come.
I'm making quite a bit of changes from the original script. It's all pretty much the same. I'm just at this point, I'm almost going through. I'm referencing the script as I need to.
Right.
But more than anything, I know where I'm going. So I'm kind of just drawing, and then I'll go back in and read dialogue as I need it dialogued.
And how was it working, like with the different publishers? Are the editors different? Are the systems different? Was it hard to adjust, or are they all basically the same?
I found they're all the same. I don't find that it's, there are some publishers that aren't as hands-on, and there's some that are more hands-on. And I think the bigger the publisher, the more hands-on the editor is.
Right.
But they're all pretty much the same. It's do your job, turn your work in on time. You don't have an issue.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm working with Dynamite right now, and it's a lot more looser than I expected it to be. Matt is cool.
Yeah, Dynamite's pretty loose. I mean, I didn't, any work that I've done with Dynamite has been kind of just as long as I'm turning in my shit on time.
Right.
But when I've worked at, there's been other companies where they want to see the thumbs, and they want to make sure that there's, the layouts and the thumbnails and make any adjustments as needed. But once I get into the actual drawing of the pages, it's just turn the shit in on time. And then, occasionally there may be a change here or there, but that's probably just because I goofed up and drew something wrong. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, edits are part of it. No matter how great an artist you are, there's going to be an editor too. You're basically reading the mind of someone else when they write down their script. So,
right.
By the way, William Wolfer is an inker. He says, "Hey, Phil and Brent."
Hey, what's going
on? So we're about to get into Kickstarter, but right before we do that, I just wanted to ask you, how was it when you got your shot on New Superman? This was this new thing, the Asian Superman, and it was trying to get a new audience, I think, in there and everything. And boom, you're on this book for DC. At the moment, it was really hot. It was getting a lot of publicity. I mean, how was that for you? Was there a lot of pressure?
Yeah, I was nervous as shit. It was my first DC work. I mean, I did a Batman story for the Love is Love anthology that they put out for the shooting in Florida at the nightclub. So it was a DC story, but it wasn't really DC work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
DC had their play in it, but it wasn't like DC work. But yeah, and that was right before New Superman. So yeah, I was nervous as shit. I mean, like I said, it was my very first story for DC. So, you know, the more I did the series, obviously the more comfortable I got with it.
Of course. And how were they like working you in? Like, were the editors hard on you? Were they understanding you were new and like easy with you, or?
No, I mean, you know, I think that, you know, the editors hire you because they know you can do the work. I mean, they otherwise hire you. And that doesn't mean that everybody comes through. But they liked my work enough to keep me working. So, you know, it was just, you know, I think more than anything, it was me needing to get out of my head. So any changes or anything that were made through those first couple issues were just simply me trying to figure out
in your own way.
Yeah. I mean, trying to get out of my head, get out of my own way. And, you know, again, it's trying to figure out the language of your new editor.
Right.
You know, there's a script in front of me, but you know, they want it to be done. I mean, they see it in their head a certain way, or they know how they want their books to look. So, you know, it was again just learning that language. And then as we went through, and I worked with the same couple editors over and over again, it became much easier. And that all the way through Titans and into everything else, you know.
By the way, famous inker Chance Wolf, what's going on, man? He said, "Hey, Phil and Brent, I love Chance's work. He's inked some greats like McFarlane." Russell said, "What's up, all you cool peoples?" He said, "See what he did there."
Yeah, see what he did there.
Very clever. And then, you know, it wouldn't be a show without them busting my chops, which I think is funny. Brent, who is this Philip guy? So nice you have him on. You obviously have a fan following. You got a lot of support. You know a lot of people in the industry. You've really got a great resume. And now you're going into the realm of writing and doing indie work. And I think that's awesome. And I see a lot of people going to this realm, which is only beefing up this industry when names like yourself start becoming a part of it. So that's great. How was the transition going from, look, I'm taking somebody else's script, I have an editor, and then I'm drawing, to I'm the writer, I'm the editor, I'm the artist, you know, I'm everything? Hey, William.
It was a little nerve-wracking at first. I mean, this script's been sitting there for 2 years. I've been sitting on this thing for 2 years. But, you know, work for hire stuff was coming up, and I needed to pay the bills, and it just didn't feel like the right time to do it. And then COVID exploded the world, and, you know, and I did. I mean, we talked a little bit about this before the show, in rehearsal. No, but you know, at the beginning of 2020, I was really kind of contemplating if I wanted to do comics anymore. You know, I've been grinding for 10 years. You know, I'm not one of those guys that I'm not the best artist in comics. And I think I have chops, but I'm not the best artist in comics.
Again, who's to say, though? It's all subjective. You are to somebody.
But you see what I'm saying is that, to me, you know, jobs just don't fall in my lap. They just don't.
Gotcha.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I am usually one of the hardest workers in the room by the grinding and the hustling and getting it done. I mean,
Dude, you had 2 commissions of mine at New York Comic Con, and you had a list of commissions, so you were busy. And you grinded them out for me when I needed them because I was passing around my jam to other people. And you were the one artist that really got on it, got it done for me, did a top-notch job, and didn't hold it for the whole damn weekend. So I know you're a grinder.
Well, I mean, just like there was a month where last year I drew an entire issue. I think it was an entire issue of New Superman, plus a 5-page fill-in for Super Sons, and a 5-page story for the Titans annual. And I went to a convention in 30 days.
Nice.
So 30 pages plus a convention in 30 days.
But see, in all seriousness,
go ahead.
So I know it's tough to grind. I get it. But when you look at the indie community, they got to look up to you as an inspiration because, I mean, you are the epitome of really what most of us are. We didn't get a lucky break. We didn't get that shining moment. You busted your ass. You grinded. You worked. You went through the sludge, and you did achieve. No matter where you go from here, you did achieve the goal. So I think everybody in this room can look at you and say, I mean, shit, man, if I bleed, if I sweat, I can do it. So good on you.
Well, and that I'm not patting myself on the back. It's just, but
I'll pat you on the back.
It got to a point last year though where I was like, I'm just, do I want to keep grinding like this? And
right.
I have other aspirations as a musician that I kind of want to do some original shit. I mean, I sing in a band in Dallas and we play, I mean, especially in Texas, it's back open, but we're playing once or twice a weekend and we're playing for actual money at actual places and people are coming but it's all cover tunes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's fun. I mean, I love performing. I mean, I DJ'd for 10 years just to kind of do music for money. And, the one thing that I didn't like about DJing is that it's not performing. And performing is where, hey, Sean.
Sean's awesome.
I love Sean. I just, I kind of want to do some original music and just throw it up on iTunes and see what the fuck happens, So I was kind of contemplating that last year. I was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to take some time and I don't know, pick up side jobs and do some music that doesn't pay anything and put it out on iTunes and see what happens. And, and I'll do that. I'll get to it. But I've been sitting on this project and I just kind of last year when I with the industry the way it was during COVID and the work that I found doing the covers for Dynamite and a couple issues there, I kind of, and then I got, quite a few commissions towards the end of the year. And I even went and did some storyboard work for a major cell phone company for like their commercials, their little spots. And the storyboard stuff was fun, but it didn't satisfy the way comics does.
Right.
And so it kind of got rejuvenated. And now with, the new year, my life has gone through a lot of changes personally, for good and bad and indifferent. And I think it's just the time to do it. I think it's just the time to do this Kickstarter thing. And, it's like writing my own music. I want to put out my own book. My first creator-owned thing was back in 2010, 2011 for Image, but I was co-creator. Fialkov already had the idea. Essentially I'm the partner. I'm 50-50 on the deal, but
right.
I mean, it was his baby, and I got to come along for the ride, which is great. And I love it. But
to be the pilot, the total pilot, riding that bad boy yourself. Yeah.
And I'm telling a story that I want to tell, that seems fun, and I'm not taking it too seriously. I mean, there's going to be some aspects of the book, and we'll get into it, I'm sure, in a second, that I want to touch on some real deal shit. But at the same time, I just want to have fun with it. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be.
Isn't that what it's supposed to be about?
Yeah, I think, and that's it. Is that I've got myself on a deadline. I've got those things in place. But, if I get halfway through the series and go, what I had plans not working, fuck it, we're going to start over, or start over in the middle, and go a different direction, or just, if I want to draw 23 pages or 24 pages instead of 20, or if one issue is 30 pages and one issue is 20, I mean, it'd never be less than 20, because I always want to give somebody, I want to give them the full book. But if I do a guitar solo in the middle of the series, you know what I mean? There's no restriction. You know what I'm saying? So
I gotcha. Listen, I totally get what you're talking about. I'm jumping into a new thing and I don't even have your resume. And yeah, I mean, you get to the point where you're tired of listening to the person on the radio. You want to be the one on the radio, not listening to it. I get it.
And again, it's great singing covers, but and I didn't realize how much of a musical metaphor that it could be for this, but that's really what it is. I mean, there's some writers that I would love to work with. I mean, Donnie Cates is a buddy of mine. I'd love to work with him.
Sure.
I worked with Phil Hester and he wrote. I would love to work with him again. There's a ton of great writers. I would love to work with Lemire one day. There's a ton of great guys I'd like to work with, but I kind of want to just tell my shit. I want to do my and it. When I first, back to your question, like when I first started writing it, I was nervous about the writing. And I sat down one night and I just wrote the script out and I sent it to a couple buddies and they're like, no, it's good. I was like, are you sure? They're like, yeah, I'd punch up the dialogue here, punch it up there, but no, it's good. Like you should, because I was initially looking for somebody to help co-write it. Like, you know what I mean? And partly I didn't know if I was going to have time to do it or if I was even good enough to do it. And they were like, I think you can write this thing on your own. I think it's good enough that you can do it yourself. So why not just do it? Like, I mean, anybody who's written a comic kind of had to just go write the comic, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
just
I mean,
do it.
I'm not saying we're going to blow up like Donnie tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
You never know, but you never know.
But if I just get to put out a good book that people enjoy and it's mine, and it gets optioned from Netflix and makes millions, then great.
Yeah. Sean said with all the different interests and talents, he's glad you chose comics.
Oh yeah? You hear me sing once or something?
Yeah. Yeah, Sean, you don't tell me that. Where are you whispering me sweet nothings, man?
I love Sean's work. By the way, dude, the work you're doing right now is, I mean, I've always loved your work, but it's the stuff you're posting right now.
It's incredible.
Killer. I was looking at something earlier and I was like, holy shit, Sean.
Did you see the cover he did for my book?
No.
Oh my God, I'll show it to you after. It's incredible. He's like him. He's the best in the business in backgrounds, first of all, but he's just an amazing artist.
Yeah, that the Batman Beyond stuff.
Yeah.
Or this one, like he did this piece. I'm gonna put it up to the camera if it'll show.
There's a shine. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
With that background, he's so good.
Dude, you got to. I'm going to show you after. You got to see the cover that Sean did for me. It's just incredible.
Oh wait, it's on here.
Robert Powers says, "What's up?"
Yeah. I see the cover on here. It's on his Instagram.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, the black and white. His original pencils, killer.
So. Anyway.
So as far as your project, though, because I could go on all day about Sean, how great he is, because he really is, and he's a great person.
Yeah.
This tagline is what got me alone. You said your book is Supernatural meets Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
And that tagline alone really caught my interest. So why don't you tell us, before we look at the page, what is this book about, as far as you can tell us without spoilers?
I mean, as we go through it, I can kind of explain a little bit too, but I mean, we're going to show the preview pages here in a minute. Essentially, yeah, that was the idea. Was I'm a big fan of Calvin and Hobbes. I was since I was a kid. My granddad turned me on to it. It was his favorite comic. I love the show Supernatural, like big fan. I even named my motorcycle Baby after Dean's car.
Nice.
She's all black. She's beautiful. Anyway, I was driving one day and I was like, that would be kind of cool to put together, you know? And now it's taking it off into with a mind of its own, which is really fun. But it's about a 13-year-old boy named Mike, who's named after my big brother. That's about all they have in common. But he's kind of a, he's bright, kind of take no bullshit kind of kid. And he lives with his aunt since he's a baby. As far as he knows, his mom abandoned him when he was a child. So on his 13th birthday, he wakes up and comes downstairs, and there's a present from his mom that he thinks just doesn't care about him, and it's this stuffed monkey. And so he's kind of pissed off. He doesn't really care. Why is this lady who hasn't seen me in 13 years sending me a present, and why is she sending me a stuffed animal when I'm 13? And, so anyway, the story progresses, and essentially he is the shift between good and evil, and now that he's 13 and he's becoming a young man, the baddies are after him, and the monkey, you find out, it doesn't really spoil it, but in the preview pages, you'll see, but the monkey is essentially the stuffed monkey is essentially a golem. So that's where the Calvin and Hobbes thing. So it turns into something else. And so he gets in trouble, and we'll show the preview page in a minute, but he gets in trouble, and then he walks out and trouble is no longer there. And then the next page, which I have not posted, is the reveal shot. So essentially he's got to go find out who he is, why he is, who his parents were, and he's on this adventure with his monkey and creature, and there's going to be there's demons and angels and monsters and ghouls and goblins, and I've even got a psychedelic trip down the rabbit hole thing planned for issue number 3, which I think is going to be super rad. And it's all about this kid trying to figure out who he is, and also at the same time dealing with abandonment issues of, he's now searching for these people that abandoned him when he was a baby, because he has to figure out who he is, but he really doesn't care about these people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to be really fun.
Well, I'm going to show the trailer now, but before I do, Rob says he loves the idea. He loves the art. Awesome work. Definitely going to back it.
Hell yeah.
And he said best ideas hit him while he's ignoring traffic laws. So I'm going to go full screen here. You should have the sound. If you don't, tell me right away. But we're going to play the trailer now. And let's check this out.
The music was written by my buddy Jameson Lloyd, who is a guitar player. I played with him several times in bands here. But he's a killer guitar player, and he's the one that put all the trailer together.
Awesome, because I like the music.
Yeah, the music and everything.
Awesome. Very cool. Got a good guitar sound out of that too.
Yeah, he's a killer guitar player, man.
So let me ask you, as a writer, is there any part of you in your protagonist or any of the characters in your book?
Yeah. I mean, I'm writing this thing from life in a way.
Yeah.
I think, not to get too deep, but me and my biological father, as I got older, were very distant. And looking back, was it my fault as a kid, wanting to not really go to dad's and hang out with my friends all the time, and was it his fault? Whose is it? But anyway, we were definitely distant, and so there's that in there. There's there's definitely going to be. I'm definitely going to write from life. I mean, I think it's just like drawing. When you're drawing a horse, draw a horse from life. Don't draw a horse from an illustration. If you're drawing a cityscape, if you're drawing a neighborhood, reference life.
Well, what better way to have a protagonist that you understand and know than one that's part of you? If you're a little bit in there, you can write from your heart, from what you know, and that'll even translate to dialogue.
Well, yeah,
you know how you'd react.
Yeah, and that's it. Is that there's going to be pieces. I'm a parent, so the scene, the scenes between him and his aunt. I can write that because I'm a parent. Issue number 3, the one I was telling you about, which I really cannot wait to get to. I really hope that we get there. Get this one funded, get issue 2 funded, and get to issue 3, because that one is one of the ones I'm really excited about. But the situation and the characters for that issue are based off of someone I know very well. So, it's, there's going to be a lot of life to it.
Is there a main antagonist? I mean, I don't know if you can say that now. Is there a main villain, or is it like
there is? There's going to be there. I mean, there is. It's if you want to reference back to Supernatural, there's Crowley, but he's also got all these other. You know what I mean? I mean, they're
right.
So not that my guy's not Crowley, but I'm saying there's going to be kind of a head guy. It's not going to be Satan initially, probably, but. I mean, Satan may show up at some point. I mean, it is a spiritual, supernatural, heaven and hell demon kind of thing. But, there will be a main bad guy, but there'll be plenty of other,
sub bad guys and subplots.
Yeah. So
very cool.
As we make our way to the boss level, you know what I mean?
So right now you have a pledge level of the goal is 7,500, and you're at 5,546. So you're just above halfway. I mean, just above needing $2,000 more. You got 85 backers with 7 days to go. Now,
I did the math. If 40 people pledged $50, that's everything.
And this is what I'm going to tell everybody, and I'm very serious about this. I don't know if you've come in late. I don't know Brent real well, but I know you fairly. We've talked. You've been at my show. I've gotten commissions. Brent is a really good guy. If you don't know his art, I don't know what closet you've been in, but he's a really talented artist, and he's a really creative mind. I mean, he's a musician. He's an artist. He's a writer. And the tagline alone, saying that it's Supernatural meets Calvin and Hobbes, alone should interest you. That's something that you don't see. And the key is they keep regurgitating the same stuff in the big publishers. So why are we throwing money at regurgitated shit and not throwing money at something new and creative? So I'm going to ask you all right now, even if you can't throw the $40 or $50, get the hard copy for $10 or a PDF for $5 or just something, and share it out. And tell everybody that's there, because he's got 7 days to go and he needs $2,000. So let's do this. Let's get this funded. I already pledged, and I'm excited about the book. So we're gonna go through the page.
Showing the artwork.
Yeah, and we're gonna show. Here's the cover. Now, let it. And of course, if there's anybody else you want to credit and tag, whether it's inkers, colorers, or letterers, whatever, please do.
Well, I haven't hired a letterer yet. We got to get this thing, once this thing is done. And
well, I'm an art rep, and I have a really good letterer if you need one, and he's cheap.
I'm gonna need a letterer, but everything else I'm doing, I'm penciling and inking it. The cover's painted, so I did all of that. The book's going to be black and gray with a splash of red.
Cool.
If I get the entire 6 issues, which is the first arc, done. And collect it, then that will be that Kickstarter or whatever will be to get the entire collection colored, and then printed.
Cool.
But I want to do it this way. I'm a big fan of black and gray stuff,
Yeah.
like artist editions that they're doing. And I don't know, it feels a little raw, and you can, as much as I love colored work, to be able to kind of see the actual lines on the page, and it's a challenge for me to figure out how to do all this stuff and not rely on the colorist.
Right.
So all of this outside of someone lettering it is 100% me.
Not just that, but I mean, honestly, just with the content of it, I think the black and gray with the red, that adds to the aesthetics and the feel of what you're trying to go with anyway.
Yeah,
With the supernatural. So here we got some pages. Creepy looking bastard. Anything you want to tell us about these, or?
So he comes out of school. So essentially where we start, which this is kind of, a few pages in, but where we start in the scene is he's in detention. He walks out and there's these two guys in suits, and he has like, what was that show with Pacino, Devil's Advocate?
Yeah.
Where like they would see the people and then they would switch and see the devil face or the demon faces and they switch back. That's kind of like the feel I was going for. That's why the stat panel. But yeah, so essentially he sees what they are, gets scared, takes off, and they start chasing him. So, and then he loses the monkey. I mean, it kind of tells the story without the letters,
Absolutely.
Which is the
Good
goal.
flow.
Which is the goal.
Good flow. Well, I mean, that's the good thing. You as an artist, you understand how important it is to have the art tell some of the story, not just the writing, And I think that'll help you as a writer, because I always say this, some writers, they don't trust in the art telling the audience some of the story, and they over narrate, which winds up talking down to the artist and making the dialogue bad. Yeah. So you have a good understanding of how to share the page with dialogue and sequential storytelling. Very cool. I think it works really well with the black, gray, and red, actually.
I do. And it's a challenge. It's fun. I mean,
Okay, something happens. Was it the monkey? We're not allowed to say. I'm looking forward to reading this, man. This looks really interesting. Seriously, it really does look good. And the art, of course, is great. I mean, you can draw your ass off. The first time I met you was at Cliff's show in Jersey. And you did Namor for me, which after we were done showing the Kickstarter, it's right behind me on the wall. I'll show the Namor you did for me on my jam piece. It's pretty awesome. So what do we got here as far as the tiers? So
yeah, I tried to come up with as many puns as possible.
Here, I'll do this. So 20 more. I don't feel like running. You get a signed printed copy of issue 1. And of course, all the reward levels. It's $20, guys. I mean, come on. How much do you spend on garbage that, it's not even an investment?
Yeah, and I think the level, we missed one. I think the level right before that, it was what? It was $5 or $10, which is the PDF or something like that. And I think
I don't see it here.
Yes, there. Go up to the top of the whole page. Isn't there a place to click on the word? Isn't there a rewards thing? Campaign, FAQ, comments. I thought
it says campaign, FAQ, updates, comments, and community.
They don't have a rewards tab?
No, when you're on the PC, it just shows it along the side.
Oh, you're on a PC. That's why.
Yeah, the first one shows the $20. What's all right? You want him to do at least $20 anyway.
You got to get them.
So you got $20. You get the copy signed and all the stretch goals. $35. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, here. You know what it is? That's weird. It showed it up there, and now we're starting on the lower tiers.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So for $3, that's just thanking for that's just giving support. $5 is the PDF of issue 1 and your name on the supporter page. $10 digital is good. With this, you get your name on a supporter page, a digital PDF version of 1, and a high-res digital print of the cover of issue 1. So that's cool. Pledge $50. Paper's good. Not only do we get a printed and signed copy of issue 1, this reward also comes with 11 by 17 art print of the cover. Also includes everything from previous reward tiers. So come on, guys, let's go. Let's see this number go up while we're on. You know, talk is cheap. You want to support? Let's go. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, John, Andrew. What's that?
I said no shit.
Pledge 100. We got original art. There you go. As not only do you get everything from previous reward tiers, but also 9 by 12 black and white head sketch of any character you pick. Obviously, no custom or original characters for copyright and things like that. So that's awesome. Original art, and think about it. $100, you're getting a 9 by 12 headshot by a major DC Marvel published and other companies, Interscope, Dynamite, etc. artist. Plus, you get the book. I mean, just the commission alone would usually be $150 to $200. So, to me, that's a steal. Just personally, that's what I think. And I'm not marketing for him. If you collect art, original art, you'll know that's a great price to get original art and the book. $150 retailer tier level comes with 10 signed books, a print of the cover. So if you got you're an LCS or something, let's go. Or you want Christmas gifts for your friends, buy 10 of them and pass them out.
No, I don't care if you're a retailer or not.
Right?
I don't know the difference.
And you'll get a black and white torso sketch for the store. Dude, that's awesome. And for $150, guys, that's, especially if you own a store, that's a great deal. You get the books to sell, you get the artwork to hang up and frame or do whatever the hell you want with. That's awesome. Pledge 200 or more. You're really chimping in. Cute. Here's some more original art for you. Everything from the previous tiers, as well as an 11 by 14 black and white inked torso sketch of any character you're choosing. Man, you get some good tiers going on here. Generous, too. Tired of silly puns yet. I have 2 splash pages built into this first issue. So with this tier, you get everything from the previous rewards as well as one of the original art splash pages. Oh, shit. Nice. I love splash pages. Who doesn't? $500. I mean, honestly, as an art rep, I'll tell you, splash pages in a book, I mean, whether it's an indie book or not, you'd be looking at $600 minimum for splash pages from established artists. So that's a good deal. Now you got me climbing a tree. What's a book without a cool reveal splash page of a main character? So you're going to get a splash page with a big reveal, and you never know if this book blows up. You might have that appearance, man.
So basically, this reveal page is what comes next. So this one, so essentially there's actually 3 splash pages in the book. So the $500 tier is 2 of those, and then the other splash page is the reveal, which comes after what's on the preview. That's a big reveal shot, and that is that page.
That is awesome. Again,
that's what we see where we see what our creature, our monkey is,
Oh, cool. Telling you, man, if the book blows up, you're going to want to be the one that has that original page of the reveal. Seriously. And for $1,500 or more, cover your bum, you big baboon. The cover art. That's right. This reward gets you the fully painted original cover art for issue 1. Also includes everything from $200 and previous reward. From above $200 reward tier. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'll show you. I mean, this is the cover. That's
a lot of artwork, man. Nice, yeah. A lot of original artwork. And what was the medium? What painting medium do you use? Is that gouache? Is that oil? What is that?
No, that's it's watercolor and Prismacolor pencil and ink and whatever else I threw in there.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. So I want to remind everybody, this only has 7 days to go. He's just under 2,000 short. So guys, please, you all know what it is to want to live your dream and succeed. We're all trying to get our books out there. It starts with, our hearts and how we help others. So I want to see this number going up right before our eyes. Come on, guys. Let's get on here and pledge. Seriously. I mean, how many of you watch Supernatural? How many of you like Calvin and Hobbes? Even if you didn't watch either or read either, how many of you like demons and angels and Angsty kids. Yeah. Or Brent. I mean, if you're a fan of Brent's work, I mean, you can get some great art, original art, one-of-a-kind art here that, again, if the book blows up, so does the art. You never know. To have a cover or a splash page or a reveal page for a book that gets blown up, you never know. You never know. Or if you know what, if it's not your thing, but you still want to help out, I mean, you could throw $35 at him. You could throw whatever you want at him. Help him out.
Yeah, and I think the pledge without a reward can be whatever you want it to be.
Right.
I think you can just choose. Well, yeah. I think you can choose it to be. I don't know. I'm logged in, so I can't change anything because you can't.
It's not letting me change it right now, but maybe when you go to that, let's see.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. But
so, what are your goals? What are your goals for this book? I mean, assuming you fund this one, and I think you're going to be honest with you. First of all, the last day or two of every Kickstarter usually has a big surge. So I think you're going to be fine. But obviously, who the hell wants to cut it to the end,
Yeah, well, I mean, the goal is if I get this funded, the book will be completely done by the end of April, very first of May. So that way it's off to the shippers and in people's hands by late June. So they'll at least have the PDF, the actual PDF of the book. Even if they're waiting on the hard copy, they've at least got the finished product in their box, right?
Right.
So once that's done, is to give that a month. So the book's done in May. People have basically paid for their pledge or whatever, by the late April, the book's done and the thing. So by the time they're getting the actual hard copy in June, I've started the Kickstarter for issue number 2.
Sweet.
And then, so I keep it rolling.
Important too.
And, I would like to get this thing. I've got 6-issue arc. So I would like to do the entire arc. Now, if we kickstart 1, 2, and 3, we kickstart 1 and 2, and Random House or somebody likes it and wants to pick it up, and then we go that way, that's fine. Or if we kickstart all 6 issues,
right,
and then collect it, and then I get a rep and pitch it somewhere and whatever. I just want to do the series. I don't care how it gets done. I don't, and as far as, I'm not even paying myself my full page rate to draw and ink this thing,
Now, is this just a limited series of the 6 issues, or would it be ongoing if you could go?
No, we could go further. We're just, the 6 is where I'm starting. So, if it does well, it's like anything else. I mean, it's like any other creator-owned book. If it does well, we'll keep going. If it doesn't, then we can stop at 6.
Now, can you pitch it to Image? You've worked for Image.
I could, but I want to get it out first.
Right. Well, I think they want. I think they lessened their. They're a little lighter on their requirements now, but with a first full published book and then just a synopsis of where you're going with it, they'll
take that route. I mean, I think with something like this, I would be more interested in going with actual book publisher, like Scholastic or something like that,
okay,
or Random House or whatever what I'm talking about though, like
yeah,
and I would definitely be interested to try to pitch it and get it optioned somewhere. I think it would be a cool show, but I'm not writing it for Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it gets picked up, cool. If it doesn't, I just got the book out. I got to tell the story. And if it goes past 6 issues, that would be awesome too, because there's going to be, with this type of story, there's so many different ways you can go. And I feel like I'm not limited to, you know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you, if you were to give your elevator pitch right now, why would we want to buy this book? What kind of person is going to love this book? Why would we want to?
Shit, I'm horrible at this stuff.
Most of you artists are. That's why you hire guys like me.
The reason I want to do this book, I want to give my son I want to do something that is good for kind of a mid-level age reader, 13, 14, maybe somebody that's not, and a retailer I talked to the other day kind of hit on the head, and this is the perfect way to put it, which I wasn't able to say, but as eloquently, but it's for the kid that maybe isn't ready for the more adult comics, which even a lot of our comics are probably more adult than they should be.
Right.
But it's going to give them something to read that's not, that doesn't feel too much like kids' book either.
Right.
I will not put language in this book. There will not be a cuss word. It doesn't matter if I cuss like a sailor or not. There's not going to be any cuss words in the book. There's not going to be any innuendo. The closest we're going to get to anything of that nature is if I maybe drop a DreamWorks style over the head joke in there, maybe, but there will be some violence. And I was debating on how violent to make the book. And I think with this, it needs it. But you're going to have violence like we saw in the preview pages. There's going to be some, and there's a 7 in the eyeball and an ear. There's going to be some of that. But it's still something that I would let my 13-year-old read. I would let my 12-year-old read. But also adult enough for adults to enjoy just as much. You know what I mean? And it's something fresh and new. Or at least I think it's fresh and new, and it's going to be fun. I'm having fun doing it. And when you're having fun doing something, it comes through.
I agree. Mike Mez Phillips, great artist, by the way. He says, hey, Philip and Brent. Mike is a really great artist, really talented. If you're ever looking for a cover artist or something, backup artist, talk to him. He's great. And I got a bunch for you, too. Charles Morgan, hi, Brent. Good looking book. I pledged and hope you reach your goal. Nice to hear it's going to be clean for the kids as far as the other aspects.
Like I said, there will be gore and violence, but not over the top gore. It's not going to be as close to like Invincible, but there's still, I mean, a dude's head's going to explode at the end of the first issue. Maybe not as graphic as Invincible would be, but his head exploded. I mean, there's going to be chunks on the floor, but we're not. But I don't think most parents right now, most parents aren't concerned with their kids and violence just based off of the video games you let them play.
Right.
If you let your kid go play hours of Gears of War, shooting their friends and stabbing them in the back, you're probably not going to have a problem with some, fantasy.
Right. So Brian Silverbacks is on, another great talent, another great artist. Making shot happen for yourself. I think you meant shit happen for yourself. It's so awesome. Good luck, man.
Yeah, I made a shot happen for myself earlier, like 3 to 5 minutes.
Guys, listen, don't wish him luck, though. Pledge on the book. Don't wish him luck. Make him successful. It's all pledged, guys. Come on, I pledged. Please, guys, pledge. Seriously, it looks like an interesting book. I'm going to, again, just real before we go, because I know you had to go at an hour. We got about a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to go spend some time with the kiddos and watch a movie or something.
I am, again, just going to show the art real quick. There's the cover. If you pledge on the high tier, you can get the cover, the original cover painted. Here, again, are some of the art pages. Again, he says it's Supernatural meets Calvin and Hobbes. Obviously, I do love your art. I have you on, 3 or 4 of my jams now at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's Supernatural. It's adult, but not too adult. I mean, if you have a 13, 14-year-old kid, they should be okay. I mean, there's no sexuality, things like no cursing. There is a little bit of graphic violence, but again, it's drawn. It's not animated. It's not moving. Things like that. But obviously the art and the panel work are top because Brent is a professional. He's a DC, Marvel, Dynamite, Zetascope, everything else, professional artist.
Image, Aftershock, Valiant. I'm trying to think, I'm missing somewhere in there.
You've done them all, except, did you do Aspen?
No, yes, actually, I did a cover for Aspen years and years and years ago.
You've worked for all major publishers. See, now, again, guys, you know what you're getting with him already, looking at his body of work, if you haven't already been a fan. So you know the book is going to look beautiful. I'm sure it's going to be written beautifully. The premise sounds really interesting. He's got 7 days to go and just a little under $2,000 he needs to fund. Come on, guys. 40 people throw $50 at it. I mean, the tiers are awesome. You've got original art that you can get from him. You know, a commission alone is more than what he's offering you in the tier with the book. So come on, step up. Let's help out Brent. Let's get this published. Brent is a good guy, I'm telling you. You did me a big solid. I appreciate that. I'm not kidding about that. I'm one of those people that I don't forget when people do solids for me, and you did me solid at my show. You are a great guest at the show, and you did me a solid. I'm not going to forget that. So you people need to help out. He's a good guy. He's one of the good ones. There's no ego. This is a man who scraped, scrimped, busted his ass, trudged, bled, sweat to get there. You know? Seriously, he's us, but finally made it to the big publishers. He's the guy that didn't get anything handed to him. You know, he worked his ass off. So let's show him some love. Let's pledge on this, please. 7 days to go. And if you can't pledge, or for whatever reason it's not your thing, share it out to as many people as possible in the next 7 days, because there's somebody who does want to pledge on this. And that's my spiel. So look, you got 7 days to go on this. I feel it's going to fund. I think you're going to have a big surge in the last several days.
If we do, I mean, you know, and maybe it doesn't work for this one. I mean, I've got at least one, maybe two guys that would come on and do a variant cover as a stretch goal. You know what I mean? Like buddies in industry buddies. So, you know, if it doesn't work for this one because we don't get there, then I'm going to use it for the next one. But I haven't thrown any stretch goals out there because we're not even there yet.
Right.
So,
William just pledged and he's sharing. I am good. If you don't mind me saying this to you, Brent, I am going to say this, and I learned this quickly. The best thing to do for a Kickstarter is you got to put the lettering in the first 6 pages so people can see that the writing is good. Because I know a lot of people that even if a book's pretty, they want to see if it's written well as well. So I highly recommend that next time. But you know what? Next time is going to be issue 2 because this one's going to succeed.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah, dude, you just went up. So there you go. William just bumped you up.
Well, thank you.
Let's do this.
I need to run. I need to go spend some time with the kiddos. My
Brent, thanks for coming on. Sorry I had to postpone you from getting ill, but it worked out. It's during your Kickstarter, so I'm glad you came on.
I had to postpone you the last time, too, because I had something come up. So
yeah, that's true. You postponed the first one. I postponed the second one. So there you go.
So I think you get a pass, especially because you're sick.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Look, have a great night with your family. I wish you luck and success with this, and I will keep pushing. You know, please, I'll share it on my page the next 7 days, you know, try to help out.
I appreciate it.
And, real quick, the glare is there. Can you see your
Namor's like...
Yeah, there's your Submariner.
Yeah, he's right up he's at the top, right above the colored piece, like right in the dead center at the bottom.
Yeah, there you go. All three.
Scott? Does Scott ain't that?
No. Mark McKenna inked that one.
Oh, okay.
I have different inkers do each one.
Yeah, no, I couldn't remember. I thought for some reason Scott did one of them. I couldn't remember.
I keep trying to get him, but he's been busy. I think he's tired of inking. He wants to draw now, so I don't blame him.
And the one comment about any more Major X books, as of now, as far as we know, we're not doing anything more for Major X. I know Rob had some ideas moving forward that maybe down the road, but as of now, there's no word for another installment of Major X. So
cool. And Steve Garcia said, great stuff, Brent. Good luck to you on your project. Looks great.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. I thank all y'all for hanging out and listening to me ramble. And yeah, anything y'all can do. And then I'm going to go. I'm going to go be family. I'm going to go be dad.
Do it.
That's my first job. So
Ride safe, play hard, and much success, man.
All right. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate it.
Be good.
All right. Bye.
So that was Brent Peeples. Really good dude. I'm telling you, seriously. Please pledge. I can't say this enough. Pledge for him. Help him out. Get this out there. It sounds like an interesting tale. He's a good guy. So that's what I'm going to say about that. We got a lot of things coming up. I'm going to actually hang out Saturday night with Del Guzman Jr. And my God, I'm so bad with names. Oh, for the Lord of me, I'm so sorry. And Brett Todd. There you go. I knew his last name, Brett Todd. And we're going to just talk comics and stuff. Just a fun sit down, nothing formal on Saturday night. If anybody's up late and you're bored, you want to join us. Monday at 10 p.m., I'm going to have a special episode with a lot of the creators that are involved in tragedy. These are variant cover people. Keith Williams is going to be part of the show. Chris Mad is going to be there. A lot of people that have done covers for my book, and Ricardo Silva, I believe, will be there, and he's the artist on the book. We're going to talk tragedy. We're going to talk about what they have going on. It's just going to be a round table of a bunch of great artists. I might even have the letterer of Jason Meadows there if after his day of work he's got time, he's not too tired. So we're going to talk about the creation of the book. We're going to talk more about the book. We're going to show a lot of art from the book. We're going to talk about the individuals themselves. That'll be Monday night around 10 p.m. Jim O'Reilly, he also did a variant cover, will be there. So it's just going to be fun looking at art, talking, shooting a breeze. Same with Saturday night. And then, of course, I've got my Tuesday and Friday show next week. I'm really trying to get back into this. I lost a lot in 2 months of that stupid sickness, and I'm ready to go, man. I'm raring to go. You can't put me down for 2 months and think I'm not going to come out like a bull in a china shop. So I appreciate everybody that comes out and supports Creatorcon Q&A. I really do. I look forward to getting my physical conventions back soon. The small one, Suffolk Comic and Art Expo, will be coming in the next few months. Creatorcon, my 2-day show, won't be probably till 2022 at this point. Wait till it's safe, everybody's vaccinated, yada yada yada. Where I do get big names at my shows. I get big name artists. My artist alleys have been said that for my $10, $15 door, you get a New York Comic Con style artist alley. So, and I take very great pride in that. It's an artist and comic book and creator show. It's not pop culture. Nothing against pop culture, but I'm about the comics, and we support indie guys. Indie artists are mixed in with the big name artists at my show all the time. Unless you're Steph Wilson, then you're not invited. And anyway, Steve Garcia will be there. Yeah, you'll be there, my friend. So I just have so much going on, and I'm loving it. I'm an artist rep. I rep some great artists. I might have some really cool news to tell you soon about that. My guys have been working with some great people like Marat Michaels and Ryan Kincaid and Billy Tucci and a lot of guys. But we have some big news coming up soon, hopefully. So their art repping is going great. They're working. I've got Tragedy coming up. We've got the Creatorcon Q&A. I have some great, big names coming on. We have some great indie talent coming on. Creatorcon Q&A, we're going to have Freddie Williams II in 2 weeks. We're going to have Dan Mora, who was huge at Power Rangers. He's on Batman now. He's going to be on within 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. Harvey Talabau, a lot of people. We're going to have Matt Bat Banning. One of the best inkers, one of the great inkers. He's inked David Finch and Mark Silvestri, and he's going to be on. Really cool dude. Chance Wolfe, another great inker, inked for Todd McFarlane on Spawn and stuff. So we're going to have some great big names. We're also going to continue with great indie talent. So please just remind everybody about the show. I lost a lot of audience being out for 2 months, and it doesn't bother me, but it hurts my guests. I want my guests to get exposure. I'm doing this to try to help them get exposure, and it doesn't work if I don't have my viewership, and I want to get my viewership back up again. So please, guys, do it. Work with me. Share out. Let everybody know it's here. I think it's a good show. I hope it's a good show. If it's not, tell me why, and we'll work on it. Hey, Heather, thanks for coming out. I hear you finally snagged the Master of the Circle template. I don't know what that means, Russell. Will Playton's here. Hey, I hope you are well. Will Playton, amazing painter and artist. And I'm hoping to have some awesome news in regards to Will Playton. Anyway, you guys rock. Thank you for coming out. We had a bigger turnout tonight than we've had recently. I'm sure Brent had a big part of that to do because he's well known. Please pledge on his Kickstarter. Get this guy his goal. Let's support, and let's just support each other. Continue to build each other. Everyone can drop links in my chat here. Russell, Heather, everybody, Steve, drop links. Steve Garcia is going to be a guest at a comic convention soon, which is awesome. If you want to get commissions for Will Playton or Rob Powers, contact me. And again, May 18th, Rob Powers has Penguino's Revenge, the Kickstarter. May 18th. It is an anthropomorphic tale of a samurai penguin. It has the violence of Invincible with humor that makes you laugh out loud. It's a lot of fun. It's 200 pages, this book. And Rob has bled and sweated and lost sleep and busted his ass to get this book together. He did everything. He wrote it, he penciled it, he inked it, he colored it, he lettered it, he edited it, and now he's going to need your love and your help and your support to make his dream come true. And let him know that the last 2 or 3 years of his life was not in vain. So please go out May 18th and pledge on Penguino's Revenge Kickstarter. Go check out Robert Powers' Facebook or on Instagram, Def Shogun, DEF Shogun, SHOGUN. And he's also got his page, Penguino's Revenge, on Facebook and Instagram, which I am an admin on the Facebook one. So come on out to Penguino's Revenge, support, pledge, take care of Rob, man. He's a good man. He's a good father, good husband, good friend, an excellent artist, great talent. And we'll be cross-promoting between my tragedy campaign and his Penguino's Revenge. We both do it May 18th. And just to remind you, scrolling on the bottom here is Brent Peeples' link to his Kickstarter. I got it right here. I just put it in the chat. Click it, pledge. Please, guys. Click it and pledge. Okay? Let's do this. Let's build this village together. Look, right now the indie scene's blown up. You know, the main guys, they're faltering. They're not working with Diamond. They're trying different things, digital. They're firing and laying off people. They're doing all these things, but the indie scene is where it's starting to get really quality artists, quality writers. You're getting a lot of the main big guys coming into the indie scene doing their own stuff. Scott Snyder just did. Brent Peeples is doing. You know, a lot of Freddie Williams is doing. So right now there's a renaissance going on with the indie community. So we got to support each other. Let's let this grow, man. We have to let this grow. Steph Wilson. I didn't know you were still here, Steph. I thought you fell asleep by now. Isn't it past your bedtime? It's called Tragedy because there is no Steph Wilson variant. Steph Wilson's an awesome dude. Steph Wilson has his own show every week. I forget the day if you want to say Steph. Steph is an awesome artist. He's also like the indie variant cover king. He does like over 100 a year. I'm sure you know Steph Wilson's work. Robert, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know if you watched the show or if you came in late, but you can rewatch it. Please do. And please, Robert, pledge on Brent's Kickstarter and help him out. You guys are awesome. I sincerely love you guys. A lot of you have become friends to me. We talk fairly regularly, if not regularly, and I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate all the love support I've been getting, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate Steph Wilson, his great sense of humor, having a thick skin. Him and I bust each other's balls. It's all in fun. He never takes it seriously. Nothing but love and respect between us. So thank you for that. Again, Saturday night, I'm just going to hang out and have some comic talk. It's just going to be free talking. Anybody who wants to join in the chat, we're going to hang out and talk. And I didn't say we were friends, Steph. I said we had mutual respect. And Monday night, I'm going to do a special tragedy episode with a bunch of creators that have worked on variant covers and the book itself. And we're going to talk about the process of making the book and everything. So come out for that. Please, come on out. Hang out. You got nothing else to do. You streamed every freaking thing over the last year that's out. Come out. You know I engage with you. You can talk in the chat. You can be part of the conversation. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling bored, come on, watch the show. You can talk with us, and we'll include you. and we'll have a good time. No filter. Let's just have some fun, okay? All right. Anyway, thank you so much for everything. Awesome. Steph, hang in there, man. Maybe you'll be good enough for a variant cover on my book someday. There's always, there's always hope. The sun does shine on a dog's ass sometimes. Anyway, be legendary and have fun storming the castle.